I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't really want to make this video. But I figured I was pretty vocal about my weight loss last year, so I think it's only right that I'm also open about my weight gain this year. Ooh, let me get a little comfy. Hey guys, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my bedroom. I am so glad to have you here. So like I said, today I'm going to be talking about a topic that is pretty personal, but I know it's going to resonate with a lot of people, especially after the year we just had. And that is the topic of weight gain. So if you're a regular to my channel, first of all, shout out to you. And second of all, you might remember a video I did about a year ago on my weight loss journey. Now I'm still super proud of that video and everything that I talked about still stands. It was much more about like my mental health journey in tandem with weight loss rather than like the physical aspects of weight loss. And so today I really want to focus again on the journey of continuing to foster love for myself while I have gained weight. So for context, if you want to watch my weight loss journey video, you can click here, but you can also watch this one first. I don't think it will really make a difference. Before I get started, I'd just like to take a moment to thank today's very fitting video sponsor, Green Chef. Green Chef is a USDA certified organic company that makes eating well easy and affordable with plans to fit every kind of lifestyle, including vegan, vegetarian, paleo, and keto. Recipes are quick and easy with step-by-step instructions, chef tips, and photos to guide you along the way. Green Chef's expert chefs design flavorful recipes like this delicious cauliflower rice and pork sausage paella, which is one of the many recipes on their keto-friendly meal kit. Ingredients come pre-measured, perfectly portioned, and mostly prepped. What I love most though about Green Chef is it's the most sustainable meal kit, offsetting 100% of its direct carbon emissions and plastic packaging in every box. So you can feel great about what you're eating and how it got to your table. I also love how it makes cooking dinner on a busy weeknight so much easier. So go to greenchef.us/Alex90 and use code Alex90 to get $90 off, including free shipping on your first box. Essentially, about a year and a half ago, I was going through a lot of life changes, I would say. I had just quit my full-time job. I was doing a lot of self-exploration and inner work. And I also embarked on a weight loss journey that actually wasn't really intentional. I just started really focusing a lot on taking care of my body. I would go on really long hikes. I transitioned to a mostly plant-based diet. And I even stopped drinking alcohol for like a good 9 months. So of course, because I was doing a lot of those things, I naturally started to lose a lot of weight. And it was a really interesting experience for me because it was the first time that I had lost weight in a mostly natural way. I didn't feel like I was forcing it or going to any extremes. I just felt like I was changing myself from the inside out, and that was starting up here. I felt like I was in a really good place. I felt like I really wanted to take care of my body and fuel it with the best foods possible. I also fell really in love with hiking and getting outdoors, so exercise didn't feel like a punishment or a chore, and it just felt so right, I guess is the only way I can describe it. And so I really loved sharing about it because I, for one, had struggled my whole life with getting to that place where I felt like my weight wasn't at the top of my mind. Because for the first time, I felt like I had control over my weight loss and my body and just my health in general. Also, I have to acknowledge that although I've never considered myself a thin person, there is massive privilege attached to the body that I exist in. And while I am speaking about my own journey, it is so important to first learn from those who pioneered the body positivity movement, Black women and femmes. And I've included the work of some amazing people you can follow and learn from and support in the description box below. While I will always advocate for self-love and acceptance and rejecting societal ideals of beauty, I'm not among the most marginalized of people, and therefore I cannot lead this conversation. Self-love is for everyone, and we must amplify the voices of those who are most marginalized. I can only speak from my experience, and my experience will always be through a privileged lens. As someone who's been a little bit curvier my whole life, I've always felt like I needed to change my body or be someone else in order to fit in or be loved. And so I'll be honest, it felt really good to lose weight, but also feel like I was finally getting to be that person. And again, I think the way that I lost weight last year was actually a really positive experience for me. I think I did it in a really balanced and healthy way. But as I mentioned in that video, I really thought I had unlocked something in me and that weight loss would hold, maybe for the rest of my life. Spoiler alert, it didn't. But I also didn't anticipate the little thing that we call a global pandemic. So fast forward to March 2020 and the whole world goes into lockdown. I at the time was living alone in LA, and because there wasn't really much else I could do, I really just dove into work. I also felt like my work was something that I could actually contribute to the world at such a crazy time. I mean, people were at home, they wanted to cook more, so I felt like I really had some sort of purpose. But of course, because I mainly make food videos, I was pretty much at home cooking and eating the whole time. My whole life, my weight has really fluctuated. I guess you could say I'm a fluctuator. And that's been pretty difficult because I see directly the response I get when my weight goes down versus when my weight goes up. It's really hard to continue loving yourself no matter what when you directly see the praise you get for losing weight and then the praise you lose for gaining weight. Truthfully, it's hard to even know at what weight I am most comfortable because you're getting that feedback from other people, whether they know it or not, all the time. And I do think that people are generally pretty well-intentioned. I think it's just a symptom of our society that rewards thinness and rejects all else. I don't really see the point in blaming people for congratulating me on my weight loss or praising me for a thinner body or even asking me how I got there. Because again, that conditioning, that information that you are not good enough unless you look a certain way has pretty much been from day one. That is exactly why I wanted to make that weight loss journey video, and that is exactly why I know it's important that I make this weight gain video. In that weight loss journey video, I talked a lot about cultivating self-love and how my weight loss was really just a symptom of that self-love. And although that was a hard journey, what's been an even tougher journey has been continuing to find love for myself despite gaining weight. Because I know logically my ability to love myself cannot be dependent on how much I weigh. You'll just never find happiness if that's the way you live your life. So I think it is really interesting that I was able to come to that conclusion then, but to really put it into practice now, I think means so much more than it could have when I lost weight. It's kind of like, okay, you can tell me you love yourself when you lose weight, but can you still tell me you love yourself when you gain weight, when you make a mistake, when you're at your lowest, you know? I think that is really where a lot of the magic lies, because if you really want that love to be unconditional, then it can't have conditions. And weight is a condition. Like I said, my weight has fluctuated my entire life, but that does not mean that my love for myself or my confidence or my happiness has to fluctuate with it, and it shouldn't. But that is where all of that inner work really comes in. Even just the idea that weight gain is bad is a result of a really toxic society and diet culture that was built on implanting these insecurities in you to sell you something. The work is not in losing weight. The work is in actively fighting these oppressive systems lodged in your psyche that tell you that you're not good enough, that you need to look different, that you need to lose weight, that you need to be someone that you're not. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to lose weight, but it's really important to know why. Because if you want to lose weight for validation or to fit in or to be chosen by someone else, that's very different than losing weight to feel good or be your best self. This past year has been so challenging for all of us on so many different levels, and food has always brought me so much comfort. It's literally my entire career. So it's really no surprise that during a really dark time, a lot of us, including me, turned to food as a source of comfort and joy, a new hobby, and of course, just general yumminess. Although I really tried to remain aware and not let myself numb any feelings with something like food or alcohol or social media or TV, I try also not to hold any shame or blame for needing to turn to something else to kind of distract myself from everything that's going on. I think it's only a natural response, and I don't think that you should hold any shame or blame on yourself for that either. On the flip side, I know how important health and exercise and a good diet are for not only physical health but mental health, so maintaining that during a tough time is also really important. It's kind of just a balancing act all the time. When I look back, it's pretty clear to me that my weight directly correlates to my mental health. But I want to be very clear that does not mean that positive mental health means weight loss and negative mental health means weight gain. There's so many variations within that. But I do know that mentally, when I'm on my A game, I'm generally more inclined to eat a healthy diet, exercise every day, drink enough water, all the things. And so of course, when I'm doing those things, weight loss is usually a side effect of that. Gaining weight this year has been really interesting because on one hand, I want to be compassionate and gentle towards myself, especially because we're going through such a wild time. But on the other hand, there's been some disappointment and shame and sadness that's come along with it because I know how hard I worked to make my weight loss a positive experience. So in many ways, I felt kind of like a failure. But just because I've gained weight doesn't erase everything that I did a year ago. It doesn't make it invalid or fake. In fact, if I'm still able to put everything into practice that I talked about in that video today, I think that makes me even stronger than I was last year. There is so much about you that is so much more important than your weight. There are a million reasons why you are a beautiful person that have nothing to do with the way you look. Truthfully, aside from everything that's happened this year, I was no more happier when I lost weight. Losing weight doesn't magically solve all your problems, unfortunately. Maybe some of that validation you get will feel good for a minute, but if you don't do that inner work alongside it, it won't last. Because like I said in the last video, happiness is not something you find outside of yourself. It's always right in here. But it can be really hard to find it. And once you find it, you'll probably lose it and have to find it again. I think that's pretty much the meaning of life. What can I say? It takes work. It takes a lot of work to remind yourself constantly that you are enough. But that is the work worth doing. And I think that that work needs to come before the exercise and the healthy eating and the water and the dating. I dare you to be enough right now, just as you are, with everything you got. Listen, while I know that so many of us struggle with weight, there are so many more important things to focus on. And you can start loving yourself regardless right now. It's possible. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. You are beautiful in every single way. No words can bring me down. So don't you bring me down today.